Well, look at that. That's pretty cool. And I didn't have to do it. Over there too. Well, not all of over there, but the front yard is pretty cool. And I didn't have to do it. That was the coolest part. It's cloudy again. It's pretty much gonna be cloudy and off and on and off and on and on and off and off and on and on. And then there will be rain and little bits of sun and some more rain and more rain and then more rain and more rain, and then we will go, where is the sun? Good morning, everyone. I think we're about 9:30. I don't know what the temperature was. So on one of my videos, I think it was the last one, someone was asking about my benches, and I thought I'd kind of I've had a couple people ask about them over time, because I don't know, maybe they're a little different than like what a lot of people have seen or such. I don't know. But so when I first found out I was getting bees, I started watching videos on beekeeping, and I saw the freestanding benches and all of that sort of thing. But if you look at a lot of my land, I'm on the side of a hill, and the front side of my property, yes, is flat, but it gets very windy. I mean, we're breezy down here, and you know, you can see. So I figured I needed a bench system or stand system that would work well on uneven ground, and maybe work well off of something I've already got. And I thought, well, I've got T-posts all over the place. You know, we've got an inside run of T-posts. And my first year, I had my bees up here, and we're this pretty much straight west. There were some benefits and some drawbacks to that, because you know, we have all of this blocking sunshine all day. But Harris Jubert, wait until the plane goes over, mentioned he had seen or used some of these brackets, and I got them off online or off of Amazon. Here's one that's not painted. I got these brackets, and I really like the brackets because you just screw them to your 2x4 or 2x6 and they lock in nice. And you know, all you'd have to do is, you know, pop it out and you'd be able to take your, well, so I wanted something that would be pretty easy to build, could be, well, built out of scrap, and potentially be mobile. You know, if I ever had out yards or something, you always got T-posts almost everywhere. And you know, having the face of the face of the hives up against a you know, electric fence, or you know, even if you had fencing or whatever, you know, it'd still be a viable thing. And so that's kind of what I came up with. But again, these brackets are kind of expensive. And so the first year I was wintering here, and all of my weather pretty much comes from this direction. So they were just getting basically slammed by coastal storms, because we don't live too far from the Columbia River. And if a winter storm follows the river up, that river channel hits us right in the face, and right quick. And that same summer, some friends of mine, he lives up the street, he came down here. There were some of these dead trees, and there was actually 2 of them, and he dropped those trees and cut them up for firewood and that sort of thing. But I noticed that this area down here got better winter sun exposure and that sort of thing. So during that summer, I started cutting blackberries out of all here, because all of this was kind of like all of this through here. And so I cut all the blackberries out, a little bit like I did down here, but there weren't as many here as there was there. And then I'd come through with my tiller and kind of grab some of the vine, you know, and stuff. And that's, you can see it, you know, they're coming back, Northwest blackberries. But because those brackets were kind of expensive, I came up with this situation. And now, ideally, I'd have 2 of these U-bolts instead of a U-bolt and a strap. But those straps, I mean, they're a little heavier grade ones. And when I sank my T-posts and everything, I came along with C-clamps, and I sucked the 2x6 into the prongs, so that it, you know, so those prongs are, you know, like you can see on that one right there, it's nice and tight. Well, those prongs are sucked into that 2x6, so they carry part of the weight, and this is actually just keeping it tight against the prongs, so that the prongs carry the weight and they just hold the tension. At least that's the theory. And so far it's been working. Last winter I had 4 hives on each of them, and they were double deeps. Yeah, and even that year I had honey supers on them, so they held the weight. What surprised me is they didn't sink. My soil gets pretty soft in the winter, and it surprised me that, and now they could have, that may be why I'm gonna fix that, but it might be why I'm a little out of whack anymore, because I could have had some settlage with the posts. But yeah, and then with this, I kind of showed a little bit on the other video, it's a real simple, it's just you know, a 3 foot or 2 foot, whatever, 2x4, and a longer one, you know, and then my plywood secured to it with a hinge, and then they're zip tied. I've tried to keep everything real simple and light on material usage, because material's kind of expensive. Now, I do recommend, where you can, using the pressure treated, you know, because it'll last you a lifetime. Plus, I figured the 2x6s were probably better when you're drilling through and running those the strap and or the U-bolts. That way you don't have to worry as much about the board splitting. Plus, you have less chance of that when you use the pressure treated. So, and then what I did with this one, same concept, just a little different. We had to have our well replaced, and this is the piping from the old pipe. And so instead of getting more 2x6s, I just used that. I've seen people do that with chain link fencing, the bars. But, oh sweet, we got some lavender blooming. That's pretty cool. That surprised me. I wouldn't have expected that this time of year. Nice. Looks like these are gonna do good. I'll be able to come in and trim them all up eventually. Mediterranean white heather, and they put on little blooms and stuff. I think like an early spring bloom, not that you can get wild rose bush. Ouch! Seems like everything around here's got thorns. But yeah. And see, that one's even simpler. I got me some heftier bolts for it since there was only one. And then even with that pipe is setting, you know, in part between the two, and then I stiffen it up with the. I figured if and when I do use this bench, I'll build me some places to set stuff. But see, right now today, I lived at the coast for a few years, and it kind of feels like coast weather. Some nice honeybees right there, huh? They've been real nice, not messing with me when I've been doing stuff. But I haven't been jostling anything very much. Ooh. They're busy. Ooh, lots of fuzzy bees. I like fuzzy bees. Fuzzy, shiny bees. Nice, pretty wings. Except down here. Oop, oop, oop. We got some well, no, I did give you some old frames with what you needed to clean up. I bet that's what that is, because it feels old. It's okay. Oh, I see that yellow jacket's been bugging you. I understand. Well, I just figured, and I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's Tina? Tina or Tiny. I think Tina was the person's name. Someone down in California, I think. Tina, California. Or something like that. I'm sorry, my memory's not all that great. Comes from getting hit in the head with a bunch of wood. But yeah, time to get the roofs on. I'm gonna go get materials this morning, I think. Says we're gonna get nicer this afternoon, and I think that's when I'll go down and give them some brood and some food. But the first year's roof was just this sheet of plywood sitting up there, and I built this one bench and moved them down here. Oh, I think it was about December or something, because I needed to get them out of the weather, and that ended up over them. Actually, it was Garrison at Garrison's apiaries. He helped me move them down here and put the plywood over them and stuff. But I had built this one bench, so we moved those ones down here that first year, middle of that winter, and then they didn't make it. But it started the process of the apiary down here, and then working that up there as my kind of nursery area and that sort of thing. And then that's actually repurposed bee bench, because I had gotten too many. I kind of went a little bee crazy my first season. I went from 1 to I think 12, something like that. And so there was kind of this horseshoe thing I had doing up here. Maybe I'll see if I can find some of those old videos and include some pictures. It looked kind of nice. I liked coming out and looking at the bees every morning, so, you know, but there's no way I could have that many of them up here. Like the first year I had my robbing station on the back side of the house back there, because it was nice distance and that sort of thing, but it made my parents nervous with all the honeybees flying past the deck and the back side of the house. So I moved it down there. Plus, there's kind of an uphill, and it turns out that, you know, like gallons of syrup is kind of heavy. Well, it works a lot easier going downhill with it. But I hope to answer some of the questions. They're real simple. I don't like to do anything too difficult. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.